So at last I have made a return from my. I can't even remember how long time away because there's a video that I actually wanted to make for a while, and finally had the I finally had the motivation to do it. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about another YouTuber on this wonderful and incredibly schizophrenic platform of ours that is YouTube, known as Gamza, formerly known as Commissar Gamza, who used to cover a lot of 40k stuff, but has since stepped away from covering 40k and instead is mainly focusing on 3D printing. And fair dues to him, 3D printing is kind of a field that still has a lot of misconceptions about it, and good on him for wanting to bring to light some of the actual benefits of 3D printing. The reason why I'm making this video about him, however, is because of what he does as part of his whole method of building up 3D printing. Because it's not simply building up 3D printing. Instead, what he is going for is essentially 3D printing supremacy. Because recently, as in a few hours before the making of this video, he released a video discussing the new Tyrannid pre-orders that went up on Saturday for 40k. If you're watching this video in the future, those pre-orders have most likely been out. Unless you're watching them before Saturday, before Easter Saturday. In which case, yeah, they're not out yet. But the main things that he brought up were the Codex, the dice set, the combat patrol, the new Parasite of Mortrex miniature, and the data cards. And also a bundle that Games Workshop does on its website for if you want to gather up all the paints to have your army be parade ready. A lot of it was kind of talking smack about the actual contents. The prices, because he did discuss the prices, I can understand to an extent on. Like in the current edition, the codexes for 40k have been a bit more expensive. Also about £20 for dice. Well, why? The new mini is about average for a standalone character mini at this point, and also the £90 combat patrol, which to be honest, if you looked at it and then tried to buy all the stuff individually, it would probably come to more than the amount that the combat patrol is going for. Now, my biggest bugbear with Gamza nowadays is he took the approach of focusing on 3D printing during a time when Games Workshop was under heavy scrutiny because of what it was doing to fan film creators, which was basically if the fan film creators didn't sign up with them, then they would basically be told you can't make stuff relating to Warhammer anymore, which I think has started to be backtracked a bit, given the amount of Warhammer fan projects that are still out there in the open, and also there are actually a lot more, and there's also actually more coming out. So I think they've started to backpedal on that a bit, even to the point where in a survey they did actually ask the fan base if they wanted to see them loosen up on the fan creators. So clearly, the time to be pissed at Games Workshop for how they've been treating fan creators is starting to pass. It's still crappy that Games Workshop did it in the first place, but the fact that they're actually starting to realize their mistake and are looking at stepping back on it is actually something to give credit for. However, Gamza still seems to work in the mindset that we should be pissed at Games Workshop because apparently they are not actually changing, even though they are. Because one thing that is easy to notice is that whenever Games Workshop is in the shitter, a lot more good stuff for the community comes about, such as the fact that Tyrannos finally have a new sculpt after about 10 or 11 years, and also the squats have finally made their long fabled return to the game. But all these aren't good enough for Gamza, who still pushes that if you made the investment on getting a 3D printer, then you are a sane and rational human being. Okay, but what about those of us who don't have space for a 3D printer, don't want to work with resin, don't want to go through all of the hard work that it will take to actually sort out the 3D printed minis, or just don't want to do 3D printing in general? Are we lesser because because we either can't or don't want to do 3D printing? I'm not bashing 3D printing here because I do actually have a few things in my library of stuff to build and paint that is 3D printed, but I mainly prefer to work with plastic minis, mainly because unlike with resin, plastic is a lot easier to work with, given the fact that all you just need to do is just glue them, paint them, glue them, prime them, and paint them, and then you're sorted. Whereas with resin, when I can speak, whereas with resin, there's a lot more to it. But apparently, according to Gamza, we are just, I am a lesser hobbyist because I don't want to work with resin. And in fact, I'll probably make another video at some point talking about my issues with resin minis. Well, while talking about my issues with resin. But note that my stance on resin at the moment, as I'm going to say it with the time left in this video, is I'm only willing to work with resin if I have absolutely no other option. But if there is a plastic version of a miniature, chances are I'm going to aim for that. Chances are I'm going to want to work with that plastic model instead of the resin one. But yeah, to put things back onto Gamza, another issue that I have with him is the fact that he continues on the mindset of Games Workshop is trash, they shouldn't be around anymore, all that stuff. Whereas other creators who have also taken the standpoint of, yeah, there's problems with Games Workshop, have also offered suggestions as to how Games Workshop could improve. Where's your ones, Gamza? I've heard them from Eons of Battle. I've heard them from a few other Warhammer YouTubers. So, where's your strategy for fixing Games Workshop? Although I get the feeling part of it will involve 3D printing, so only time will tell. But anyway, that's all I've got time for in this video. If you liked what you saw or agreed with my rambling, then please be sure to leave a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I will probably see you guys, hopefully sooner rather than later. Peace out.